So coronavirus has got the entire world in a tizzy. We have events across the world being cancelled. We have colleges and universities under closure. We have certain countries under complete standstill and closure. And whilst certain measures are understandable completely, I feel that as a collective consciousness, we're taking things a little bit out of context for where we are and for what it is. We are dealing with a worldwide spread of this virus. It is dangerous to those who obviously have underlying health issues, or for the elderly. One cannot deny that. And for people who have compromised immune systems, have been suffering from poor health, or have poor lifestyle choices. And I think what this is calling for, again, from one dimension, outside of the panic, is how can I build on my health and on my strength, so that I can fully rely on my immune system to battle any viruses that comes through. Please understand that you are made up primarily of a lot of bacteria, good and bad, within your system. Right now, as you stand, you carry many different viruses within your cells. They lie dormant until your immunity drops, in which case they surface to be able to take over and multiply and spread for their own survival. So what we need to do, as this pandemic is spreading a tizzy across the globe, we need to remember to come back to our personal power, and that we are in control of our immunity and our body functions to an extent through our lifestyle choices, as well as through what we feed our mind, our eyes, our ears, in terms of the news, in terms of the media, in terms of, there's a lot of fear. No one can deny the level of fear and propaganda that has swept us in this tsunami that is the coronavirus. But over the history, we've had many of these episodes, and there is nothing that we can do to subside fears of others, but what we can do is come internally and address our own life and look at how we can protect our body better, how we can feed our mind better. What is it that this pandemic is surfacing for us? What anxieties and what fears are coming up? Is it the anxiety of death, losing a loved one, falling sick? What is it? Losing your business, losing your home, losing your job? What are the fears that are coming up? And I think, as I've spoken to various different people, there's so many different fears that are coming up for different people depending on their level of consciousness and where they are. And I think what this virus, a gift that this virus is giving humanity, is an opportunity to look within and see, what am I being triggered by? What emotional trauma do I need to address? What is this bringing up for me? And how can I really stand in my power against this little virus that everyone's freaking out about? What is it that I can do as an act of kindness for someone who may be self-isolating because they have poor health or underlying health issues, or are elderly? How can I be more compassionately giving rather than hoarding and just thinking about myself as my own survival? That is our animalistic human nature, to be looking at our own survival. But I think at this time, as we seek to hopefully evolve our human consciousness, so that we can reach our fullest human potential, is to step beyond the paradigm of fear, anxiety, being provoked by these news outlets and media outlets who are just there to get their rating, and they hook you in for as long as you keep watching it, and that really will multiply the fear factor for you. So the first thing you can do for yourself, be informed by all means, but in a very controlled manner. Know how much of the news you should be consuming and interpret that news. You don't have to fully take that as fact, but do your own research behind it and understand what you may be, I don't want to say battling against, because you're really ultimately battling against yourself. But I think what any viruses and disease highlight to us is how much of our own personal power we willingly give an external force, and at what point do we then bring that internally within ourselves and think, what is this really triggering in me? Because for as long as I stay in stress and fear, science will tell you that your immunity drops, because fear shuts down your immune system, right? Because it's expecting you to run, or it's expecting you to do something to save your life. So the first thing, if you want to have a robust immune system, is to stop the fear from affecting you. And the way that you do that is that you shut off the external noise and you go internally and understand what is it triggering in me, and really start to reflect that, whether you journal it, whether you talk about it, whether you think about it, whether you reflect upon it. There's various different modes that works for different people, whether you just listen to relaxing music, meditation music, uplifting music, and go within to be able to understand what fears it is evoking in you and what that means in respect of your life, and how you can make sense and rationalize with the power of your conscious rational mind these subconscious fears that are rising up through this experience that we're going through, that the world is going through at this time with the coronavirus. And as long as you're able to really get your fear and your anxieties in control, you have a major plus factor on your side with your immunity. That means your immune system is working for you. Okay, so that's one level done. Level 2 is, how can I now boost my working immunity through good food, nourishing food. Food is information, so feeding your body good, active food that is colorful and green and whole, and get away from processed food whilst you are trying to boost your immune system, right? And what vitamins and supplements may I take? Vitamin D, getting out in the sun. There's so much concept and emphasis being placed on self-isolation, but this could be the worst thing that you could be doing for your immunity. You need plenty of fresh air, you need plenty of sunshine, you need to get out in nature. I'm not telling you to get out in bars and clubs, I'm telling you to get out in the sunshine and get out in nature and do some deep breathing, oxygenate your body, which helps, the balance of your pH system. So you want to be getting that fresh air into your body and into your systems. You want to get those vitamins, vitamin D, into your immune system, getting your body oxygenated through lots and lots of good pure water. Fundamental basics. Getting your trace minerals that will help your immune system, that will help your nervous system, getting the vitamin C and the B complexes into your body. And obviously hygiene is significantly, we're being bombarded from every direction on hygiene, so that's important. I don't feel like I need to emphasize on personal hygiene, but it really needs to be, there needs to be a mental hygiene, there needs to be an emotional hygiene, there needs to be a physical hygiene, but we forget about the other hygienes, such as emotional and mental, and when we do focus on the physical, that can create us a lot of stress and strain, because it keeps us focused and in the vibration of disease and disorder. And you want to step beyond that, and you want to take your power back. A virus cannot attack you when you're fully protected and standing in your own power, when your body's oxygenated, when you are feeling good, and you are residing in the space of love as opposed to fear, which is, the fundamental message of all of this. Is we need to be pragmatic about this. We need to take back our power. We need to be compassionate to those who need us, who are more vulnerable to disease and disorder in general. Flu kills, AIDS kills, tuberculosis kills. There's so many killer diseases out there, beyond just coronavirus. But I think corona, because it's been so widespreading in such a quick span of time, and it's new, it has the power to really teach us how to evolve our human consciousness through that compassionate giving, through helping others, and through helping ourselves, and beyond the physical hygiene, addressing the mental hygiene that we need with our thoughts, addressing those fears that are really deep down about death, about dying, about attachment, about losing others, about losing something of material substance, because when you address those fears, you get to the core that you are really whole, and that you have the power to do and be and become anything that you want. But we have to almost shed all these fearful thoughts and ideas and beliefs before we can reach our truest potential, which is power and freedom from all this propaganda and all types of diseases and viruses. You really have the power to transcend your experiences, your discorded experiences. So while the world is freaking out, you're standing in your power thinking, how can I give? How can I help? How can I find a solution for others? Rather than being swept by this massive tsunami. Because I tell you something, 2020 has been a phenomenal year. We started the year with fears of wars, world wars. There was the bushfire, the Australian bushfires, and now there's the coronavirus. It has been a global hit, and I'm sure there's a couple of other big incidents in there that I've forgot to mention. This is not in any stretch of my imagination or anyone going to subside. Things are gonna get more destructive over the coming years. They will. And this is a calling, really, and an invitation for everyone to see these destructive events as opportunities for growth of your human consciousness, and to really together, collectively, individually do our work so that we can rise above all this fear, mass fear, which is very, very destructive for so many people. And so many people are dying, and they're dying because of the fear that is shutting down their immune system. And so they are becoming a magnet to all kinds of bacteria and diseases from their system, from within their system. The bacteria and viruses that are dormant within their system is activating because their immune system have shut down through fear. So if I have one invitation and call, is please for everybody to stop this mass hysteria, mass panic and mass stress, because you really are doing yourselves no justice through this. And so with that, I invite you to really go within and reflect what fears are coming up for you from this coronavirus, disease, disorders, and start to really make sense and rationalize those fears that are coming up for you. With that said, keep safe. Look at not only your physical hygiene, but also your mental and emotional. And if you need more resources, or if you need to get in touch with me, please do so. You can access me through my website, which is goldeninnervision.com. Resources there for absolutely free. And during this pandemic, you can, if you've got any questions that you want to ask, I'm there. Ask away. All my love and blessings at this time. Be well.